good you're here. I missed you. Don't ever go away for so long again. This video has taken a while to put together. There were miscalculations, errors in judgment, fancy footwork, a little bit of scrambling, but ultimately, the final result is beautiful and I'm so proud of her. Today, we will be reviewing NerdeCrafter's Not Another Craft Kit. Give her a taste of her own medicine. If you're unaware of Jackie, she has the Crafty channel where she sculpts, unboxes miniatures, and tests craft kits.
Hello. Well, hello.
One thing that she takes as an affront to her personal sensibilities is when a craft kit says,
includes everything you need,
and then doesn't include everything you need. Her followers have been challenging her for years to make her own craft kit, and indeed this took 2 years in the making. Unfortunately, it's sold out now, so you'll have to live vicariously through me. The kit went on sale last summer, and then she had a warehouse clear out a couple months ago, and they sold out. Congratulations, Jackie! This was a huge undertaking. But Bones, I hear you asking, if the kit came out last summer, what took you so long to release your video? All questions will be answered in time. The kit allows you to cast and design a figure based on Sofubi vinyl blank character customization trends. I'm not used to working with blanks like this, especially not with these proportions. So wish me luck. Alright, let's see what all this is about. I will be the judge of that. Resist distraction! The paper is lovely. These are the instructions, colored pictures with written guidance provided. Very nice. Stickers she designed. Delightful. One can never have too many brushes. A good range of sizes, especially for a figure that's pretty small. One can never have too many X-Acto knives either.
Trust me, that sharp pointy thing, because y'all like it when I wave it at you. I see those of you waving it back. I'm not scared. Stop it!
This is a sanding stick. It allows you to get into all the crevices to smooth everything out. A palette. I've been needing some more ballpoint sculpting tools. How exciting! A spatula for mixing and dueling. Some armature wire for adding horns or a tail or other appendages. Ooh, collapsible silicone mixing bowl. Very nice. And a collapsible silicone funnel! Jackie, you spoil me. Measuring cup. Silicone mold for making resinized or jewel decorations. Jackie's original design mold. Fantastic. Paint, rainbow alcohol ink, and UV resin. We'll be putting that UV resin to use and no mistake. Actually, many mistakes. But we'll get to that. Plaster enough to make 3 men. 3 figures. Rubber bands. Fancy wrist flick. 2-part epoxy sculpt. Sculpey. I have an appreciation-hate relationship with this stuff. Liquid Sculpey. It's kind of like slip. UV flashlight. Be careful where you shine that! Batteries not included, but she warned us this would be so. We will batter this light later. Classy. The rest of the paint. I'm familiar with Jacquard's Pearl-X powder pigment, but I never used their paint before. Popsicle sticks for stirring, and a NerdeCrafter cutting mat. Jackie was thinking of everything. I think I might have missed some things too. Some gems and shaker oil. Okay, so following instructions. So, I love Jackie, and this kit is amazing, but honestly, it's a little intimidating. This does not feel like a kit for beginners. I've seen other artists struggle with this kit. I would love to hear Jackie's genuine take on the whole experience, and what she would do differently, if anything, if she were to release another kit. I fell at the first hurdle. It was such a struggle to get this mold together and keep it together.
Oh, the salt. You know what that means.
I've never worked with a mold design like this before, but with materials like this, if the edges are flat enough, it will create an airtight seal without the need of a lip like this because silicone tends to stick to itself a bit. I'm working on a video where I will demonstrate this, but Jackie must have wanted to be extra certain about the no leakage. Jackie sculpted the blank that this professional mold was taken from. I took a mold making and fabrication class for my undergraduate degree. This is a lot of work. Quick! All the rubber bands! Before it pops open again! Ah! One thing that I do understand, but found disappointing, was that I bought this kit immediately when it went on sale. I was so excited to get started. It seemed like a kit that was perfect for me. But then I had to wait almost 2 months to receive it, which was not what bothered me. This was due to COVID-related shipping issues, nothing Jackie could have done to prevent it. In fact, she scheduled 2 live streams exclusively for people that had to wait for the kit to make up for it. No, what really took the wind out of my sails was to see bigger YouTubers get their kit first. I understand she did it as a way to advertise and get a response from her friends and artists she respects. Perhaps it's 5-year-old bones coming out, but it was difficult to watch other YouTubers create with something I was so excited about but had to wait so long for. This is not a criticism of Jackie, more a comment on my experience with this kit. Now to prepare the plaster. I am ready to spat. Resorting to the hands, nature's spatula. This was how I was taught to mix plaster. It won't hurt you, though it does tend to dry out the skin. Don't eat it, and don't pour wet plaster down your pipes. Wait till it's dry and then throw it away. It can definitely cause a clog. Make sure all the lumps are out, then pour it into the mold. Jiggling to ensure minimal bubble interruption. Plaster tends to shrink a bit as it dries, so you may need to come back and top off your mold. We are set! As you can see, I did not top off my mold, so my little friend has a planed noggin. No matter.
While I was waiting for the kit to arrive, I came up with a couple designs for characters I could create. I decided to sculpt my own head for the figure separate from Jackie's mold, so I could get started. I chose to go with a version of my fairy godmother that I created last year. I was so pleased with the sculpt, I decided to make a mold of it so I can recreate it for other projects. This was where things started to go wrong. I wanted to make a fairy. I thought I might suspend her in the air, so I wanted to test some lightweight casting materials. I watched a video by a couple who make cosplay costumes, where they used foam clay in silicone molds. After some tests, I found that the silicone does not allow the clay to dry fully, so when you take it out of the mold, you lose some detail as it dries. Plaster draws the moisture out of things, so I thought that might be a good solution. However, I failed to put a mold release as a barrier because I didn't think it would be necessary. More fool me. The foam clay fused to the plaster and ruined the mold. I repaired the sculpt, which I made from oil-based clay, and tried again with a different mold-making material. This time, 2-part silicone. Once again, I neglected to put a barrier between the sculpt and the material, and the silicone did not set up. This time I had to trash the whole sculpt, because I didn't think I could clean it off. If nothing else, I have learned the importance of mold release. By this time, I had received Jackie's kit, so I sculpted the head with the Sculpey provided in the kit, and was able to take a silicone mold of that, and then use the Sculpey head for my fairy godmother. This iteration of her I have named Bellina. This is the head we are going with. Let's have a moment of silence for all the heads that came before. Thank you.
Am I a fool? Or the master of my own destiny? A conclusion has yet to be reached. She got a bit burned, but paint and her hair will cover it. Preparing the head for transplant. I'm making sure once this old nut is attached, she'll stay attached. I'm trying with the Sculpey to connect the head. I should have gone with the epoxy sculpt. This is where things continue to go wrong. Listen. Mistakes were made by everyone involved. Let's not point fingers or dwell on the negative.
Figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out.
I will figure it out, thank you. We're gonna take this pile of burnt poop and make lemonade, as my grandmother used to say. Oh dear. I can fix this, Fixing this! Don't worry, I'm fixing this. Ah, it's being fixed. I won't lose another head! I'm using epoxy sculpt to smooth any roughness caused by the burning. I wasn't thinking and used my own instead of what the kit provided. I also reinforced her neck with epoxy sculpt. Look how weird the neck to arm area is. She has no shoulders. I'll need to address that. Let's make this burnt bubbled growth into a third eye. I have heard that putting aluminum foil over the heating element of your oven will help prevent things like this from happening. I used a small oven and didn't realize how close it was to the heating element. It was touching it. We can make this work. I gave her some shape and toes. No booty, but she has wings, so I didn't feel it was necessary. We love bodies, all shapes and sizes. Time for paint. The quality of the products are really high. It's understandable that the price of the kit was so high at $150. I wonder what a $20 to $30 NerdeCrafter kit would look like. Fastest paintbrush in the flatlands. I find a flat palette easier to work with, but I was taught to paint with a flat palette, so it's really just a personal preference. This paint was much more transparent than I was expecting. Okay, I'm not denying that I burnt the bejesus out of this piece. However, even the white parts needed at least 3 coats. And I shook those bottles violently. Should have primed her noggin. I don't think there was primer in this kit. But I had some. Ugh! There. Still kinda creepy. Not as creepy. I added a gradient from her head to toe. Now I'm gonna add some shading. Wow, this kit is all-encompassing. I cannot even imagine the amount of work that went into putting all this together. And Jackie has had health problems this whole time too. So impressive, Jackie. You're an inspiration.
I got goosebumps.
I don't always agree with her reviews of kits, but she's truly backed her talk. Up the old nose.
Don't make it weirder than it is.
I was looking into the origins of fairy godmothers because Bellina is designed as a representation of mine. Did you know that the fairy godmothers have a connection to the fates of Greek mythology? There are 3 fates, or mira in Greek mythology, goddesses who divvy out a person's inevitability at birth. They are linked to imagery of spinning and weaving. In early versions of Sleeping Beauty, 3 goddesses came to her birth to bestow gifts that would help her future. When one of the goddesses was insulted, she bestowed a curse for the child to prick her finger on flax while spinning and sleep everlasting. I find the parallels interesting. But I look at Bellina as more of a guardian angel fairy godmother than a goddess of fate or granter of wishes. She's looking out for me and making sure I don't make too many foolish decisions. What would your fairy godparent look like? Let me know down in the comments. Back to the matter at hand. I'm just going back and forth from lighter color to darker color and blending right on her face. She's got some lovely shoulders now, if I do say so myself. Despite all of our blunders, I think she's starting to look like something. The eyes are my favorite part. The third eye has covered most of the burnt bubbled growth. Her hair will cover the rest. Give her a little color. I gave her gold eyes with the paint that came in the kit. I am delighted. I wanted to protect the paint, so I used some varnish that did not come with the kit and gave her 3 coats. Shiny! But not as shiny as she could be. I'm going to add some UV resin to her eyes to make them sparkle. This is the first time I've opened this bottle. I don't know if you can see, but the bottle is less than halfway full. I stuck a popsicle stick into the bottle just to check. You can kind of see it there. I'll show it better a little later. I wanted to scrape as much resin off of it as I could since I had a lot less than I was planning for. You can use fire or heat to pop bubbles in resin. Ah! The flashlight has been battered. I've sped up and cut out time I was holding the light over the resin for brevity's sake. You just keep the light on it until it's no longer sticky. 30 seconds or so should do the trick. You can really tell the difference in the third eye. Now, I'm of the opinion that craft kits are all well and good, but I don't know if any of them include everything you need. And you shouldn't limit yourself to just what's in the kit if you don't want to. And I don't want to.
Don't tell me what to do!
I pictured her covered in flowers, so I found some reasonable mini flowers on Amazon to coat her with. This little brush came with the flowers. I think they were meant for nail art. I'm using it to blend out the wet resin so it doesn't get lumpy. Making a mess and pretending I know what I'm doing. Making a mess and pretending I know what I'm doing. You guys don't even know that I don't know what I'm doing. Ee-hee-hee. I've planned this out as much as I'm willing, and that means I'm figuring out placement as I go. I was gonna make her a little tutu, but when you're this terribly fabulous, do you even need clothes? I thought Bellina would look absolutely wonderful with some glasses, so I made her some out of twisted teal and purple wire and UV resin. Fantastic. Here's the popsicle stick after I gleaned as much resin from its surface as possible. I'm not sure what happened, but I don't think this was intentional.
It always breaks your heart. Breaking my heart. Breaking your heart. 24/7. 24/7. It's like a convenience store.
Since I had so little UV resin from the kit, I broke out my own to start making her headpiece. I got these larger, colorful flowers from Amazon and Walmart. I'm coating them with resin so they won't fall apart as I unite them together. I once bought a rosebud dipped in resin necklace from a Renaissance fair. It's really lovely. I was thinking of making some jewelry using resin and dried flowers. How do you all feel about that? This project has taught me how to control resin a little better when using it freeform. I love these colors. These strange round pokey flowers and lovely blue beads will be the foundation for her hair. I included the blue beads, which were a supply I already had, because the blue flowers were really difficult to coat, but I wanted to make sure blue was properly represented. I'm filling in the nooks and crannies with smaller flowers and beads. I don't really have a design, I'm just eyeballing it. My focus is on color balance. You ever like something so much you're afraid to add to it because you don't want to ruin it? It's not big enough though. I want hair the size of her body at least. It's starting to look a little like one of those fruit hats. That's okay. Oh my goodness, it's all coming together. Now I need to fill in her bangs and around her eyes and ears with smaller flowers, and then blend them up into the larger flowers. It's so exciting when things start to work the way you pictured them. I made her toenails as a separate piece of resin that I colored with Jacquard's Pearl X Purple Interference Pigment Powder and cured. Then I cut it down to fit each little toe. Adorable. Now, to figure out where to place this piece and keep building. Just shoving small flowers places to blend. I'm dripping small amounts of resin from a silicone stick into the areas I need them. This helped minimize the mess. Right now, we've gone completely rogue from Jackie's kit. Bellina must have wings! I wanted them to look fitting with the real dried flowers I used for her hair and body. I found these beautiful skeletal rubber tree leaves. The tips have been dyed different colors. This is exactly what I was looking for. I decided on teal and purple for her wings, and now I'm making another mess to coat the leaves in resin so they shine and are sturdy. I'm planning on using all of this resin, even the mess on the mat. Just like Grandma used to say, sometimes the journey is messy. Bring your galoshes. Wise lady. Turns out, skeletal leaves have holes in them. Who'd have thought? So I had to give each leaf 3 coats of resin. Circling back to the kit, I really love this alcohol ink that was included. It has teeny tiny bits of iridescent glitter in it that will add a magical sparkle to her wings. I love sparklies! I'm allowing the alcohol and sparklies to drip around the leaves in random patterns for 2 reasons. I like the idea of the patterns on her wings being different from each other. It seems more in line with the natural theme of the flowers and leaves. They look the same, but each are slightly different. Also, I have yet to figure out how to use a brush with this stuff, so it's good I like the random design. When I've used a brush in the past, a majority of the sparklies adhered to the bristles instead of the item I was trying to paint. Look how magical they are! Every moment of this sculpture was a struggle, and this last step is no different. Jackie thoughtfully included holes in the back for wings and a tail. At the moment, I don't think Bellina needs a tail, so I covered that hole with a flower. I secured some wire to her wings to fit into the wing holes, but I just could not get them to look right. Poor planning? No! Just could have been thought out a little better. Maybe. So I clipped off the wires and attached both wings directly to her back with resin. I had to remove one leaf from each wing as well to get them to fit properly. No, the wings were not an afterthought. We're learning. Oh my goodness. And she still stands on her own. She's exactly as I pictured her, and I couldn't be more pleased. We definitely hit some formidable roadblocks in this process, but I love how she came out. Even with the unexpected addition of the third eye, I think she's fantastic. I made her a little wand out of a flower stem and one of the beads I also used for her hair. I'm pretty proud of these toenails. Well, how did I do? Here's some examples of figures other artists on YouTube have done using Jackie's kit. If you'd like to see their videos, I'll link them down below. I think this kit had a lot of heart and thought put into it, and twice as much work. I love the range of reusable tools that came along with this kit. I would bet you would spend more than $150 if you bought them all separately. I definitely have use for the brushes and sculpting tools and so many other things from this kit for future projects. I'm excited to have materials left over. If you guys like this video, maybe I could try the kit again with a different design. Let me know if you'd like to see that down in the comments. It's hard to deny, though, that even seasoned artists struggled with this project. I don't think it's impossible for a beginner to pick up this kit and create a really cool figure from it. I do think that many beginners would be intimidated by this kit. I certainly was, and I feel like this kit was made for me. I wonder if that's something that companies have to keep in mind when designing these kits. Not to overwhelm their customers. What do you think? Would you be interested in picking up this kit if you had the opportunity? I very much look forward to Jackie's videos. She's like a friend I hang out with at least twice a week. I know we're not really friends. Yet.
So they will become friends ever and ever. Walk down some beautiful grass and a green meadow. Did I say green twice?
I admire her for working through her health issues to still post multiple times a week, and for having the patience and care to put together this stunning kit with all these high-quality art supplies. My final thoughts on this kit? I would hesitate to recommend this to a beginner who didn't have assistance from somebody who's more familiar with the processes. Also, I know that it's really important to Jackie that when a kit says includes everything you need, that it does. I feel like even with all these wonderful things in this kit, there was no primer, there was no sealant, and I'm not sure what was going on with the UV resin. This is not a criticism, merely an observation. I would have limited myself if I would have stuck to what was just in the kit. As it is, I really love the character I created with the help of Jackie's kit. I would love to see what Jackie could do with some of the kits she reviews, even if it means including some of her own supplies. All that being said, I think this kit is fantastic for pushing artists out of their comfort zones to try and make something they may not have before. Also, I don't always place as much importance on the includes everything you need claim because I'm always looking for ways to add myself and my style into the things I create. I don't think there is a kit out there that will include everything I need. This is just my opinion. I don't know if she'll ever see this, but if she does, hi Jackie! I think you're wonderful! And to everyone else that's watching, I think you're wonderful also. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Take care, and I'll see you next time.